Good morning, Lynn and Grizzle. As you can see, someone's solo this morning. I won't. I won't tell. I won't mention. Well, it's just you, Lynn. I can tell you, somebody is still sleeping. I'm not trying to be quiet though. He needs to get up. So I have been. I have been poking around a little bit this morning, just being quiet, trying to be courteous and not wake him. It has been a fantastic week, but with all weeks like this, the good morning Teal, good morning Melanie, the conversations and the collaboration and sometimes a little of the causes your just a little of it causes the he just pulled a pillow over his head. He's gonna kill me. But I could not see y'all this morning. This is our last day here. I couldn't let the opportunity go without hopping in here and seeing y'all and telling y'all that how proud we are of y'all. First of all, this whole group that's on here right now is that it every one of y'all are in the mentoring program, and this week what we're up here doing is we're in a room full of brokers and just collaborating and sharing. I'm sorry for my voice, y'all. I don't know why it's been doing this because I haven't. It's not like I was really hollering at the ball game. We did go to the ball game twice, and I wore this shirt today. I put it on for a little while last night after we had all of our stuff, and we just kind of went downstairs and hung out with some people for a little while. But yesterday morning it was so cold. Can y'all hear me good? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Cynthia. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me because I can't. Y'all, as you can see, I'm solo here, so I did all this setup this morning. So if y'all can actually see me and hear me, I'm he's waking up. He can hear me. So I've done something then, but yesterday's session, I froze. I mean, like I wasn't sure I was going to be able to walk when I actually got up for the day, because you know how like when you freeze, like when things freeze, the flow of all liquids in your body just stop flowing so much. It's like how snakes can't move very fast. No, I'm not saying I'm a snake. I'm just saying how snakes can't move very fast. He's up. He's out of the bed. I'm glad I'm not in front of a mirror, y'all, because y'all might get to see somebody's drawers. But anyways, we don't have any coffee. I'm just going to say that out loud, just in case anybody's paying attention to the fact that I haven't had any coffee yet this morning. So we'll see. We'll see what he does with that information. Anyway, so y'all, yesterday was so fantastic. I mean, so fantastic. And the description I put on here, Fridays are for flying. I can't see the rest of it. What else did I say? All you need is a pilot. I don't know if I said flight path or flight pattern, and a destination. And there's something behind that. And I do want to talk on that because what we've learned today, sometimes we feel inadequate, right? Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Vanessa. Sometimes we feel, I don't want to say the word inadequate. Sometimes I feel when I was a brand new broker, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Not only was I a brand new broker, I was also a brand new agent. Yes, I wasn't a broker when I was brand new, obviously, because in Georgia, you got to have your license for 3 years. My mom was our official broker, but I was a new owner. I mean, I opened our first Exit Realty, which is now Exit Realty Lake Country. That first office was opened in 2006. Okay. I got my license in 2005. So to say that I was unprepared and the Bible tells us this, God doesn't use the most prepared or the strongest. He uses the most willing. He uses those that are willing. I knew that there was something. I knew that real estate could be done differently. I had been in. I had been with two offices. The first office, I had such a hard time leaving because I literally, I love the broker to this day. I love that broker. Um, but I just felt like there was more that was out there that I was supposed to be doing, um, maybe in a different way, and maybe in a different tribe, maybe in a different circle. Because it wasn't that I didn't love the broker, I wasn't terribly crazy about the people that in the office that I was in. I just didn't feel like it wasn't my soil, it wasn't my garden. Um, so I made the decision to come to Exit, and that broker was 100% not my garden, not my soil. And that was when I made the decision to open our first office, um, and haven't looked back since. Now, did I feel like I was prepared? Did I feel like I was? No, but this is what I knew I had. I knew I had a pilot. I knew I had somebody who I could trust could get me where I needed to go. Her name came up last night. Um, Once I kind of bought the franchise on a whim because it was a situation that the other broker I was with made a, and those of you who know the story, but I didn't have a choice but to make a quick decision. And it just so happened that I was in exactly the right place where I was supposed to be, that I could easily, you know, how you guys are always like, you have a situation that comes up and you need something. Next thing you know, you look and it's like right there beside you and you can grab it and it's right there at your fingertips. That was the situation with God had put me in exactly the right place, in exactly the right setting to be able to move forward with an Exit franchise in 2006. And, and, but once I was in the system, I remember the first time I was ever at broker owner training, which was in November after I bought the franchise in August. And I'm sitting in this room full of people in Toronto, Canada, well, Mississauga. And they're all talking about how they got there and how they made the decision to come to Exit and all of these things. And I'm like sitting around listening to all this thinking, I didn't do nearly that much. Like I didn't study every other brand. I didn't meet with every other franchise. I didn't meet with anybody. I literally called the regional owner and I said, meet me in Atlanta with a franchise agreement. I'm buying a franchise. Easiest sale the dude ever had. Um, so fast forward to here, or fast forward to November of that year, and I'm sitting in the training session with all these brokers that had done all these things and all these partners that they had all these multiple meetings to come to the determination that they were going to buy buy an Exit franchise. So I'm sitting in the room and I look at them because they kind of on the last day they come around the room and they let you share, and they come to me and I'm like, well, I didn't do any of this stuff, and I'm in the exact same room you guys are in. So apparently God put me in the right place at the right time, and now I'm in the right room. So, and to say that I can truly say there has never been a time, not one time since August the 2nd of 2006, whenever we opened and became official. We actually signed the franchise agreement in July, but then there's like a 2 week waiting period. You got to do, it's the legal mumbo jumbo. But I can honestly say there's never been not one single time, not one time that I have ever even thought of leaving Exit. And every single renewal, this one time I did joke with, like this most recent time with one of our offices, Stacy sent me a message and said, hey, it's up for renewal, or, you know, where do you want me to send the franchise renewal? And I jokingly sent it back to her and I said, well, you know, I got this letter from Remax, or I don't know what it was, because honestly I didn't get a letter. So I was, as we all know, I did get a letter from KW, but um, I think we know that's not happening. Joking with her, and I said, you know, give me some time. I'm going to review this thing. She said, okay, just let me know when you decide what you want to do. Right? She knew I was kidding. She knew I was completely joking. But it's like when you know you're home, you know you're home, right? How many times have we tried to talk to somebody about, you know, making a decision, and if you're not looking, when you are so perfectly aware of that where you're at is exactly where you're supposed to be, there's no energy expended on the what ifs. What if I was there? What if I was there? What if I did this differently? What if I did that differently? So my point today, and I called it Fridays Over Flying because of course we in fact are flying today. Shocker. So we are flying back to Atlanta. but we are not going to be in Atlanta but for about 2 hours. And then we are getting on a connecting flight to Denver. So Jagger has a hockey tournament this weekend. I'm meeting up with Logan's bringing Zeke, meeting up in Atlanta, and he's joining us, and we're heading on to Denver for a weekend of hockey, which will be fun. I've been to Denver one time, and I was at an exit convention, so I didn't really get to do much sightseeing. I mean, I was there because when I'm at those, you don't want to miss a second of what's happening. So so I didn't really get to do a whole lot of sightseeing, but so I'm excited. I think we're going to get to see maybe a little bit of stuff while we're there. We're going to make a point to do it. But my point is, Fridays are for flying, right? All you need is a pilot, somebody who you can trust is going to get you there safely. Okay, that they've done it, that they've done the training, they've done the walking, they've done it. They've flown how many hours? Like, I'm not going to walk up there now. Some of you know I probably would. I wouldn't be opposed to this. I'm not going to walk up there and be like, dude, are you sure you know what you're doing? Like, I'm not going to go up there and question the pilot at every time we feel a bump in the plane, right? I'm not doing that. I'm trusting that the person that's flying the plane that I'm choosing to get on knows what they're doing. Okay? Because I promise you, if I thought it was some dude that has only ever ridden a bicycle and he doesn't really know what he's doing, I'm not getting on that plane. I'm not getting on the plane. I have the confidence and I have the faith, okay, that pilot knows what he's doing. And if a situation comes up that isn't as planned, that he's got the training and the wherewithal that he's going to handle the situation, right? And that I can trust it's going to happen. And then I talked about a flight path. You got to have a flight pattern. You got to, there's instructions to follow, right? Like he knows where he's going, but he plugs the stuff in and then he allows the tools that he has. He plugs his flight pattern in to the little thing they do up in all the little lights up on the thing in front of him. I've seen like a couple of, as you're walking and you look in the cockpit. So I've never flown a plane. I've never even been in the cockpit when a plane's been flying. Maybe I'll ask them today if I can do that. Nah, I don't know if I will or not. I doubt I will. But needless to say, they plug in, and they use the tools that are there. Okay. And then they need a destination. They know where they're headed. Doesn't necessarily mean they're getting there directly. We're connecting. Ultimately, at the end of the day today, we will end up in Colorado Springs. Okay. That's where the actual tournaments are at. But we're getting on a plane and we're connecting in Atlanta. Just because there's one stop we're making doesn't mean that's where we're truly intending to be. Because my ultimate flight is from Boston to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Denver, rental car from Denver to Colorado Springs, rental car back from Colorado Springs back to Denver, and then back from Denver back to Atlanta. And then when Aaron gets on the plane in Denver, on Sunday, he's flying back to Nashville. So it's not always a direct path. And that's okay. Because sometimes those connections are necessary in order to get us to where we're supposed to be going. And sometimes we've got layovers, and sometimes we've got delays, and sometimes we've got canceled flights, and we've got all those things. But ultimately, we trust that the pilot or pilots, the flight path that we're using as our destination, as they're using that as their map and their guide to where they're going, and then ultimately the destination that we're headed to. But we've got to know. I don't just walk up to the airport and say, and the lady, for those of y'all that have watched Meet the Fockers, okay, I always laugh about when he's in the airport and the person that's behind the it's not the flight attendant, it's the person that's at the counter, and he's talking and they're just like, they're doing the whole typing thing, like constantly typing, like there's no way. You know how kids just play on a keyboard? And you don't just walk up to the counter and say, and they say, where are you going today? And you're like, I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going. Where do you think I should go? And then, well, what kind of clothes do you have in your suitcase? Where are you prepared to go? Okay. Because if you're prepared to go to the Bahamas and you've got bathing suits and Bermuda shorts and tank tops and cover ups and flip flops, please don't send me to Alaska. Okay. So you have to know where you're going, or at least where you think you're going, and you have to be somewhat prepared. You have to have prepared enough to be able to get on the plane with confidence that once you get where you're going, even if it's just a connection, even if it's a layover, that you have got adequate preparation to do something there, right? And for that to be, you be prepared with wherever it is that you're going right now. And sometimes it's just a layover that you don't have like 16 bags that you got to carry around. I carry around a lot of bags, so I don't have quite 16 on layovers. But the point is, we came here this week to this broker meeting, not necessarily knowing what to expect. We've been to broker owner training a lot. We've been to Master Broker Summit, which is an advanced broker owner training, a lot. And honestly, and we've got the collaborative relationships with so many brokers. I can pick up the phone and call another exit broker about anything. I can call them and ask them questions about licensing in another state. I can call them and ask them questions about how do they handle a situation like this in their office. I can call them and handle a situation. Ask them about anything. And there's brokers that are here this week with us that I've literally done that with. I've picked up the phone, I've called the broker and said, hey, we've got this going on. Let's work together to get this resolved. Okay. And I promise you, if they're sitting in the room in this up here, they are the ones that are receptive to that and would do the same thing. And I have those conversations because as a broker, I want and desire that courtesy, respect, call it what you want, of having that phone call to me to allow me to address something or handle something that's involving one of mine before somebody takes it to a different level, right? And that's what collaboration is. So when I get in this room, and for those of you that are in our company, and I see that I don't know who all is here on the agent page and who all is here on the nation page, but we think that we're doing the right thing, right? Like there's a lot of thought and a lot of preparation and a lot of everything we think through the things that need to happen in order to do something right. Because I'm that person, I won't do it if I can't do it right. I'm not a person that typically goes, even though on the outside looking in, it may look as though we are half cocked sometimes, like we are not fully prepared to do something. But I promise you, I am that person that I do most of my work in my head, in my spirit, before I ever put my hands and feet to it. And I've mentally prepared myself to be able to execute whatever it is I'm looking at. So, and there's a lot of people who can't function that way. They have to have a plan. They have to know that what they're going to do is right. They have to know that when they get done, that they don't want to go back. They are not the measure once. They're the measure twice, cut once. And I'm the person that says, okay, I'm going to measure it. If it looks like, I may even just eyeball it. And if it looks like it's going to fit, because in my mind, I've already seen what it looks like done. Like I already know what it's going to look like. All I have to do is execute it. So Aaron says the craziest thing he's ever seen when I pack. If anybody's ever observed how I pack for a trip, I can be an hour before I need to leave and still have an empty suitcase laying on the bed because I've gone through every single bit of it in my mind. I can't tell, like I know I've planned out every outfit that I'm going to wear. It's, as I say this out loud, people may look at me and think I'm crazy, but sometimes I am. But I wash all the clothes. Everything is hung on hangers. All the clothes are put in the drawers. Everything. I mean, if it's like a big sweatshirt or sweater or something that I know I'm going to wear, I might fold it up and just lay it on the bed beside where it's going to be. But I'm not putting anything in suitcases. I have a certain order that all my stuff gets packed. But I can literally pack my suitcase in less than 15 minutes because I already know everything that I'm taking. I know exactly where it's at because it's in its place. It is where it's supposed to be before I start the packing process. Okay. So then I can just go and, okay, I know I need these jeans. I need this shirt. I need this many things out of that drawer. I need this many things. undergarment pieces out of this drawer. I know exactly where these camis are at. I know these socks. I know what shoes I'm taking because I've already thought through my outfits in my head. Okay. And sometimes I'm like, well, I'm not sure the weather's going to be like that day. So I may take 3 outfits because I'm me. So I may put on 4 outfits that morning and not like any of them. So I need options. I like to have options. So my process for doing stuff, everybody kind of has, and I've talked about this before. So many people. Oh, my baby hauls. I cannot wait. Are y'all? I really hope y'all are bringing her to the airport today when you bring Zeke, so I can at least love on her for a second. But people may look at your way of doing something. They may look at. Everybody has their own little weird little quirks, right? But you know what you're doing, and that's what matters the most. Is that you've got the confidence that even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else, it makes sense to you. Okay. So as we're sitting in this room yesterday and we're hearing these brokers from across the country talking, and we're thinking, me and Aaron just keep looking at each other like, really? Because these are brokers who, in our minds, our view of them is that we're so honored to even be sitting in the same room. Okay. Like it is such, Aaron, I swear to y'all, he got choked up a couple of times yesterday sitting there. Just one, we had some pictures that were being sent to us from some of the mentor-mentee meetings. Okay. Which does our heart so good. Okay. Like it is such, those are those proud parent moments. Those are those moments when they're sending us pictures of the agents learning to do video and how to do the video and put it on social media, and they're practicing building the confidence and all the things that's happening that's allowing us to be sitting in this room with, and we are by no means the smartest people in the room. So I promise you we're in the right room, because they say if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. We are in the right room because all that we've had happen over the course of the past 24 hours has been confirmation after confirmation after confirmation after confirmation that we are on the right path, that we are that the training and the effort and the sweat and the tears and the long hours and the days where we chose not to spend something financially on ourselves because that money and that was better. We knew it needed to go into the business to do something for the agents. All those sacrifices, all the time of doing that, we're sitting in this room and we know we're on the right path. We might have had connections. We might have had layovers. We might have had canceled flights. But we know after hearing everything we've heard yesterday in this thing, the conversations, even the day before, we're doing it right. We know that what we're doing for our agents and what we're doing for our company, and as much as people look at us and go, how do you even do it? Tammy Bonnell sits there and looks at me. Tammy Bonnell, for those of you that don't know who Tammy Bonnell is, she's our co-chair. She is like at the right hand of Steve. Okay. Literally, she's our co-chair. That was a play on words. I guess y'all probably got that. I'm not saying that Steve's God, but I'm saying like in Exit Realty, Steve's the man. Tammy is our co-chair. She's worked her way up from owning the rights to New England, to being the U.S. divisional president, to being the CEO, to being, now she's the co-chair. Okay. So talk about a badass woman. I'm not kidding you. This is the one that I look at and literally aspire to. Like she's been my role model since I joined Exit, since I bought my first Exit franchise. I've watched Tammy Bonnell and have aspired to do things like she does. She's firm, she's strong, she's confident, and she's so caring, and she loves people. And she shared this last night, and she said something last night. She said, there are a lot of people that are in positions that they're in the position because of the power. They're in the position because it's more about the power for them than it is about the people. She said, and I grew up, and she said, I watched this growing up, and I saw these people, and it was more about the power than it was the people. And they were smart, and they were hard workers, and they did the best they could, and they weren't the greatest at everything. But I knew, And we say this all the time. Sometimes you grow up, you don't know what you want, but you do. Sometimes you don't know what love is, but you sure know what it's not, right? Sometimes you don't know exactly how you need to do it, but you know how you don't need to do it. You know how you don't want to do it. Um, and just these conversations, and when I tell you, these are like one-on-ones, sitting across the table from each other, just having a direct conversation with someone who is on the stage at all these big real estate conferences. She is a who's who. I mean, all of our exit leadership is, but it's just that knowing that they are saying to us, you guys are on the right path. We've watched you grow. We've watched you go through the things you've gone through. We're so proud to, yesterday we had somebody walk up to us and say, I'm proud to I'll be able to say one day, I knew them when. And that was, to us, I think that took both Aaron and I both by, really? Like that's, sometimes you are viewed in a light that you don't realize. And sometimes we sell ourselves short because we don't realize how other people view us. I have this conversation with so many of you guys all the time. Carrie Leland, you're on here. I say, and maybe it's somebody has said something to me, and I pay that compliment forward to whoever the compliment was about and say, this was just told to me. And they're like, really? Because we think, first of all, I know good and well that I can't fly a plane. I don't have the money to have a plane. I don't have the knowledge to have a plane. I don't have the license to fly a plane. Now, do I think I could figure it out if the plane was going down? I was the only other option of either jumping in the seat and trying to figure that crap out or going in the water. If there was enough time, I'd probably try to figure it out. I would give it my best shot, because it's like the worst thing that happens is it doesn't work and we go in the water anyways, right? So, or whatever. I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm going to give it my best effort. I'm not ever going to go down without a fight. But we realize here that there's just some things that we question ourselves. And how many times have we questioned ourselves and held ourselves back because we weren't sure if what we were doing was right? We weren't sure if we had everything in place, if we were prepared, if we were equipped. We weren't sure. So we held ourselves back and didn't do something for the sake of, we just weren't sure. What if we're wrong? What if we're not doing this right? What if there's a better way to do it? And you know what? There might be. But what you've done, if you take that step and you get on the plane and you realize that there might have been a better flight, it's okay. You can still get where, if you get on a plane, you can get wherever you need to go when you get to the airport to your next stop. Doesn't mean somebody's going to say to me, oh my gosh, there was a better way. There was a direct flight, y'all. You could have flown straight from Boston to Denver. I'm not jumping out of the plane because somebody told me there was a direct flight that I could have taken. No, I'm going to see it through the path that I'm on. I'm going to see it through to its conclusion, to that short connection. And then maybe the next time, if I'm flying from Boston to Denver, then I may say, I'm going to jump on a direct flight. This time there was a purpose. There was a reason why I needed to go from Boston to Atlanta and then to Denver. And it's because I'm picking up Zeke. Zeke's joining us for for the weekend, for the trip. And he had school all week. So obviously he wasn't here at this training. Nobody was here, even though Zeke did give it his best effort to convince me to just let him come to Boston. I said, no, Zeke, you're not coming. You're going to school this week. But he gave it a shot. He did give it his best effort. I say, and I'm sitting there yesterday thinking to myself, as I'm hearing all these things being said, we're doing that. We're doing that. We just implemented that. And if somebody was to look at what we've got in place right now for this new agent mentorship and for the onboarding process, that's not just going to be for new agents. The onboarding process will be for existing agents and new agents that are joining our company. It's this is who Exit Realty Lake Country is. This is who Exit Realty is. This is who Exit Southeast is. We're doing it right. And when I look back at everything we've got in place, I think to myself, we waited until we were probably more prepared than we needed to be. We probably could have started this a long ways back, but then I think to myself, but we couldn't have, because we didn't have all the pieces in place. You don't start making a cake. I did this, it was one night this past week. I was cooking dinner and I knew that I was going to cook. I was going to make it. It's a corn casserole, but it's my favorite. It's my kids, literally one of their favorite things that I make. And it's like corn, and you put some cream cheese in it, and it's buttery, and you put some sour cream in it, and you do some Ritz crackers, and it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Well, I have all the ingredients except the cream cheese. And I look in and normally we're that family that you can go into our refrigerator at any point and we've got at least 4 packs of cream cheese because we use it for lots of stuff. We even use it, just put it on a plate, pour the pepper jelly over it, get some crackers and have a snack. So we always like to have cream cheese on hand. And there's no cream cheese in the refrigerator. I've got 14 bottles of Duke's mayonnaise and French's yellow mustard in the literally in the refrigerator. I've got unopened jars of Duke's mayonnaise in the refrigerator, which I'm unsure of why, but we do. We have no cream cheese. So Carson and Maggie get in the car and they go up the street to the Dollar General, because we're out in Deep Reed Creek, and you can't just run to the store and grab something or run up to the CVS and grab. You got to run. So they went to the Dollar General because Dollar General's saving small towns all across the United States right now, because used to people had to drive like 15 minutes to get to town to get something, and now there's just a Dollar General that's popping up everywhere, so you can go get cream cheese, you can get eggs, you can get toilet paper, things that you need, that you don't, those are the things that you don't really realize you need them till you realize you need them. But I tried to start making the corn casserole and I'm going to let it sit here. I'm going to wait for the cream cheese to get back. They went to the store to get it, but I didn't have the cream cheese there. So I said, because I'm trying to get us to eat at a certain time. Y'all, I'm trying really hard to stay on schedule. Like, if y'all can't see that, like, I really am trying hard. To when I say we're going to eat at this time, that it's not 2.5 hours later. So I'm trying to stay on schedule. So I start making the corn casserole and it's just sitting there. And some of it's like whenever I start to dry my hair, you can't start it and then stop it. You can't get everything ready to bake a cake, stick it in the oven, and go, oh God, I forgot the eggs. Pull it back out of the oven, mix the batter back up, dump some eggs in there, mix them up and stick them back in the oven and think it's going to turn out right. It's not going to turn out right. So the cream cheese got back. I put the cream cheese in. I was kind of discombobulated at that point because I have a process that I follow even when I'm making this corn casserole. Everybody said it was great. It probably was. It's kind of hard to mess that dish up. But it wasn't, in my mind, I was expecting that it wasn't going to be as good as it could have been because I didn't have all the pieces that I needed when I started it. So sometimes the delays are necessary. Sometimes I don't hear him and I see the light, so the bathroom door's open. So he's not in here because it's a pretty small hotel room. So I think I would know if he was still here. So hopefully he went down to get me coffee. So all the pieces weren't in place. We didn't have all the necessary components to do even this mentorship, this training process that we've started with new agents. But I'm telling you what, when we knew we had all the components in place, I was able to boom, 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 put all this stuff in, and we kicked this thing off. And Aaron was kind of like, how in the world did we go from, I didn't even know you were having a meeting with agents to even talk about this. I'm like, oh, well, by the way, because that meeting wasn't what that was about. We had started this little mentor idea. Okay. We had started the mentor idea, which was assign an existing agent to a new agent, see if they were willing to help them, train them, shadow them, answer them questions, but it was almost like a temporary power pole, right? It wasn't them coming in and running the lines and putting all the real stuff in place. It was a temporary fix that was never intended to be a permanent solution. Now we've got the structures in place. And as we're sitting in this room and we're hearing all the things that are being said, we've got that structure in place. Oh, he's walking back in, and I bet he's got coffee. Oh, I love my husband. Y'all, I love my husband so much because he knew I needed coffee and he went and he got it. He's looking all fancy and dapper. His wife's going to walk in looking homeless because she's wearing this sweatshirt. And if I could have like those like striped socks with toes in them, I would also be wearing those today, by the way, because I am freezing. Yesterday I was freezing. I was literally freezing yesterday. But all the pieces are in place now. They're all in place. And we've got a lot of those fundamental foundational pieces. There's a house being built. Y'all, you know I love to talk in metaphors. There's a house being built beside our house in Hartwell that they dug the footers, they dug the foundation. They dug the foundation. They poured the footers. They did all the things leading up. Really, they staked it off first, and then they dug. Then they put the forms for the basement walls, and it's like it's been a little bit at a time. You coming this way? Here, I'm gonna come this way. I'm gonna come this way. Nope, I'm gonna come this way. I can move it. You just come over here, and then we can turn the camera. He's gonna join me. Yeah. What are the odds of this happening? Normally, it's me coming in late and joining the party, but they've done all these things that are things that need to be done for the construction of a house. And sometimes I'm sitting there looking at it going, why is it taking them so long to do this? Like, why is it taking them so long why is it just sitting there? Look how good he looks, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
He literally pulled his pillow, my pillow, over his head a while ago.
I did.
See?
Because it's a George Thorogood song that says one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. If I just had one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer, things would have been so much better.
I did mention that you might have had
But I didn't just have one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer.
I knew whenever it was almost time, people had already started kind of peeling off. Teal said, "Good morning, Aaron."
Good morning, Teal.
I knew when they started, like, the flock started getting thinner,
Mm.
and Aaron walks over with a cup that
Was
it water?
A roadie. I had to have a roadie.
He had a roadie. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that, babe. Don't forget. No, Boston didn't get him. No,
I don't get got.
Oh, no, he don't get got. Boston didn't get him.
Well,
make no mistake.
If I just stayed in the bed, yeah, they got me, but it didn't get me like it got you.
It did not get
I know
him
what
like
I know your
got
reference
you,
to getting.
Anna.
I know what your reference to getting got is, and it ain't that.
Oh, Lord. So
No trash cans perish.
You are throwing me completely off. Do I do this to you when I join your calls?
Y'all, she not do this to me every time she comes in. Okay, you stake the house. You stake the house out. Get the foundation.
Let's stake the house. I'm so glad you got me. What did Tammy say last night? You saved my ass. She said you saved my ass because I actually was paying attention to the conversation, hanging on every word. And so
let me say this because I'm so sorry for doing this, but I'm gonna interrupt you.
Turn your chair this way so you're angled in.
Well, I really can't because you're in the
just
way.
pull that angle in that way. There you go. There you go.
She said amateurs.
Amateurs. Amateurs. You mean you? Are you talking about you and the mouse that's in your pocket?
and I think I heard Christy talking about this a second ago. We talk to you guys all the time about the heart of this company, the heart of Exit Realty, the heart of Steve Morris, the heart of our executive staff, and some of you who've been to convention, who've had a chance to be in convention, you've met some of the executive staff, you understand what that means. If you've been to other brands, Keller Williams, Remax, Realogy, I mean, how many times does Gary Keller come sit at a table in a hotel bar and talk?
Hotel restaurant. We weren't in the bar. We were in the restaurant. We were at a table.
It was a restaurant.
It was a restaurant.
A restaurant. How many?
It really was the restaurant.
How many times? I'm not saying it doesn't happen. When I was at Remax, Dave Lineker never came to the restaurant table and sat down and had conversations with the broker owners. The co-chair of the company of North America never came to sit down and just have a couple of drinks with the people at the table. Your CEO of Exit Realty United States doesn't come sit at the table and have a couple of drinks
and talk and
just
collaborate
and laugh and cut up, and not even about business, just about life, just about sharing, just about, I mean, when Tammy Bennell looks across the table and says, "I'm so proud of y'all," it's just like, what? Really? This
Yeah.
is seriously? That is the heart of this company. That's the heart of this company. That is from the top down. And our job in this company, in our lives, and in this purpose, and with you guys, is to be the conduit of that heart,
right,
to each one of you.
And I shared yesterday in the meeting that, and it's all those things. It's the little things. It's the little conversations. It's the small acknowledgments. It's the getting a card. Is Alex Martin on the call? I haven't seen her chime in. I haven't seen Michelle chime in either. Where are people ever that's normally here? Anyways, Alex, it's getting the handwritten note from Alex Martin. It's Carrie Leland walking up and saying, and so many of you guys have gotten these
cookies,
walking up with a little bag that's got a coffee mug in it that's got just a little perfect saying that she says, "I saw this and I thought of you." It's those things that are the heart of this company.
Yeah.
That when I say to you, sometimes it takes a little longer because you've got to let things, you can't go in and when you pull a cake out of the oven, ice it. You can't do that. You've got to let it sit. You've got to let it cool. You've got to let things take their course in the right time.
Mm-hmm.
People develop. There's a kid that literally occupies our basement a good portion of the time. He has had a full beard since he was in the 9th grade. Okay? Beard.
Oh.
Duh. Beard. Like, right. His last name is Beard.
His last name is Beard.
First name is Logan.
Do you imagine?
He literally has a full beard.
Like grown man beard.
Grown ass man beard, okay? Sweetest kid ever. He's like my Logan. He's this big, Logan wasn't big and burly, even though Logan did have lettuce, like big, wavy, gorgeous hair when he was in high school.
You call it lettuce.
It is. It's called lettuce. That's what it's called. It's lettuce.
I know.
It's like drip. It's the terms of the kids these days.
No, I get it.
It wasn't like they put lettuce on their hair, even though it looks like it. Anyways, so the most respectful kid, like the most amazing kid, and I'm sure his mother is so proud of him, just like I'm proud of my big Logan. But this big, like, could be a big beast, like the big green monster. And he's just this big teddy bear is all he is. And he's so polite. And he moved furniture for us. And I thought he was ready to kill me. But that's a sidebar. All the things have to be in place. And sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes people develop and grow at a fast. Because there's people in this room that were here last year. We were not at the point of being here last year. There are people that were in this room that have been with Exit 2 or 3 or 4 years and were in the room last year. Okay. So when I say that everyone develops and grows at a different pace, but you've got to do it for what's right for you. Because if you feel like you're taking a half-baked cake to a dinner, you're not going to feel good about it. You're not going to be proud to say, "Here, everyone, have some of my cake," right? You're not going to do it. So you've got to do the things for you and for your business and for yourself that you know you've either got the right pilot. And I promise you, it's hard for us to tell you that you have the right pilot. But I promise you, I know you've got the right pilot. And I know that we've got some of the correct co-pilots in place in our company that are helping to replace Christy and Aaron, that are helping to be the hands and feet of Christy and Aaron. And we're getting these pictures and we're getting these messages yesterday of some of the of the different mentoring things that are happening while we're able, literally during the time, there's a conversation that one of the brokers is up here saying, you have to be able to replace yourself so that you can go out and do other things that are beneficial to your company and that are beneficial to your agents. Because by you having the proper pieces in place to be able to go out and do some of the things that you either previously wouldn't delegate or couldn't delegate because you didn't have the right people in place and you didn't have the right people. I heard the word, the right people. If I heard it once yesterday, I heard it 50 times
Mhm.
yesterday. It's about having the right people. It's not about having enough money. It's not about having the best office. It's not about having the best training program. It's about having the right people. That was so all these brokers sitting in this room are all speaking and verbalizing exactly what we feel
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
And then we're getting pictures at the exact same. And that's why I tell you, like when Carrie sent me a picture yesterday of some stuff going on in Brazelton, and I said to her, "You're not going to believe." And I just sent her a picture back of what we were looking at. What she didn't know is that panel of people that I sent her a picture of, and she doesn't know who they are. There was no names attached to it. What they were discussing right then was having the right people in place to be your hands and feet.
Mm-hmm.
The right people that you know as a broker owner, as a leader of the company, that you know that we've got the right people in place that we can confidently know that they are going to lead and guide agents who have trusted their career to Exit Realty Lake Country, to Christy and Aaron, that we know we've got people who we can trust to help them along so we can be out doing things that are going to be more beneficial for everyone in our company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our focus is so much. And we spend so much time. And I had so many people, even our own family members, that say, I don't think that's really how it's supposed to be. I don't think y'all are supposed to spend this much time focused on, you got to be able to just take some time off. You got to be able to just.
We do.
We do shut down sometimes, but we don't. When we shut down or take time off, I promise you, I can't think of one 24-hour period that we have gone and not discussed our company.
Oh, that's true.
Or our agents, even when we're shutting down. Normally, when we're shutting down and unplugging from something, it's so that our brains can shut down a little bit. So then we've got a little bit more room to give the mental energy to
and
come up with some conclusions and come up with some really good, solid ideas around a certain topic.
And even in the shutdown periods, it really is just being still. Like
it's
we don't move around a lot. We just sit still. Like we may stay at home and sit still.
Right.
But I'm still reading books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still writing notes. That's when I'm sitting there just like things start. We have a conversation that just blows up my mind, and I start writing stuff.
We're able to take all this stuff out of our heads and out of our spirit
because we stop
and
moving.
Verbalize it and put it in place. And that's honestly how. So for those of you that don't know the story of how our mentorship, our onboarding, and they even used those terms yesterday, and that's what we've been using,
Mm-hmm.
and we're hearing those same exact words, which we know onboarding is onboarding, but even the terminology and the phraseology is the same, and we've not heard that from anybody else. I mean, this is just something that's been in our spirit, and it just, when we get there and we hear all of it, we're like, oh my gosh, it's almost like it's hard. It would be hard to convince someone we had not already heard all these things based on what's going in place right now. But it just, again, the reinforcement and then the ideas. So it's kind of like you've got if you've ever redone a room in your house, mm-hmm. and you've got that. We do this all the time, and Aaron and I love going on these kinds of trips. Sometimes when we furnish a house and we're furnishing an office or we're doing something, we've got the shiplap wall done. Okay, we've got the backdrop set. We might even have some main component pieces of furniture. But then there's like this one spot that we just leave alone. We just leave it empty.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, we'll find something. We will come across something and we'll look at it and go, that's exactly what we need for that spot. Mm-hmm. And we always find one. I mean, some of our really super cool like pieces that are there are a result of we knew we needed something there, but we just weren't exactly sure what it was. But we knew we would know it as soon as we saw it.
Yeah.
And we're hearing some of those things here. So it's like we've got the structures, we've got the things. And to tell you guys to be excited, it almost isn't adequately preparing you.
To
be excited about what's to come, about what we're coming away from this with.
So here's what's in my mind and in my heart right now is how do we encourage you to duplicate this? How do we encourage you to spread this message? How do we encourage you to get out and start shaking the bushes and shaking the trees and having the conversations and doing the things that need to be done to spread this message? Because when I tell y'all that exit has a cure, somebody said it yesterday. They said we don't recruit agents, we rescue agents.
Hello,
that's ours, trademark. Thank you. I'll take my $15 now. So what we're doing is exactly right. We are on the right path. So how do we spread this message? How do you spread this message? How do you get out and share this message with other people? How do you get out and be light and love to other people? It really is the Great Commission. I mean, it's the Great Christian Commission.
It is.
Go out and share the gospel. You guys have got to go out and share Exit. You got to go out and share this heart.
It's not even sharing Exit, it's sharing the heart.
Because
that's what it is. It's sharing the love and how we.
And I'm gonna be honest with you,
people.
There are brokers in this room, even right now, who we get in the elevator and look at each other and go, huh, because they still don't get it.
Some of them don't. They do.
They're a handful that still don't get it. They're recruiting against commission splits. They're recruiting against technology. They're recruiting against the stuff that Christy always says you can put in a bag and shake it up and throw it on the table and everybody's got it. They're still recruiting against that. And I'm talking today about value. That's not where Exit's value is.
Right.
Exit's value is in Tammy Bunnell sitting across the table from you at 10:30 at night, 10:45 at night, sharing her heart. It is Craig Witt sitting beside you at 10:30 at night laughing about stupid crap, just being funny. Right. It is Lori Muller sitting across the table from you at 10:30 at night, sharing her love and her heart, how proud she is of you. And it wasn't just Christy and Aaron. There were a bunch of brokers down there. That's the value of Exit. That's the differentiator for Exit. It's in that thing. It's in that heart. It's in that love. It's in that care. It's in the desire to help people be better.
Right.
That's where the value of Exit is. And so, and it was said really poorly a couple of years ago at convention. And we sometimes use that term now.
Said really poorly.
Because I never want to be promiscuous. But it
is.
I do.
Sometimes promiscuous is okay.
No, it's not.
It is in this context.
When you're single, it is. But
no, in this context that you're fixing to share, it is.
But this is something. This message that we have.
It says, "Get out there and be
Exit.
Go be promiscuous about Exit.
Go be Exit Realty Lake Country in your marketplace. Go be Exit Realty Lake Country when you're walking around today. Go be Exit Realty Lake Country when you're doing what you do. And a lot of you are doing that now. You're the mentors. You guys are spreading this message. You guys are leading our mentees into this place. Mentees, I want you to dive in and grab a hold of this.
Right.
This is not just another real estate company. And I hope you're starting to understand this. This is not just another real estate company.
Right.
Aaron and Christy, for whatever reason, God has blessed us with the ability to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 in the morning and given us the ability to communicate messages and share our heart with people. He's given us the ability and a platform to share this purpose with you guys. And we're trying to do it with everything that we have and every bit of gusto we can muster.
That's right.
We're trying to do this. And so we know, and I think Christy said it just a second ago, we know we're on the right path. We know we're putting the pieces in place. It's taken some time. We've had some people that were here and left, and we're here for a season. They left now, and maybe they come back, maybe they don't.
And even the conversations yesterday helped us better receive some of that, better receive some of the, and be able to almost better, I don't want to say stomach, but cope, maybe accept the fact that even when they didn't leave upset, and again, I said it a while ago, to this day, I adore my first broker. When I left, I was in tears. I went in and I sat down in his office and I said to him, and that was, I promise you, not the conversation he was expecting when I called him and asked him if we could meet.
Yeah.
I promise that wasn't the conversation he was expecting. There was nothing that had happened. I wasn't unhappy. There was nothing. I did not leave unhappy. I left not because it was anything against his company and what he had done, they are still to this day a very well branded, well respected name in that area
Yep.
of where I was at and where our Hartwell office is. But I was leaving not because it was anything that he had done wrong, but it was because I felt like this was right for me. And and he wished me the best. And he said, "It's hard, Christy, and I'm going to miss you. And I want you to know that door is always open for you."
Yeah, can you imagine if you still had been there, what his company would look like right now?
It just, I mean, because he loves his people and his people love him. And I started to share this earlier this week, is that so many people, we've had conversations with a lot of people who they like their current brokerage. They like where they're at. They love their broker. It's good. I like it. I like where I'm at. I mean, it's good. My business is good. And we can't emphasize enough that good is the enemy of great. My brother, and I don't know if he's on this call or not, he liked his brokerage. He was with Exit to start with. And again, sometimes the garden, it's not that you're the wrong plant. It's you're in the wrong soil. Okay. And it's not even that it's not the right region. It's not the right area for this plant to grow. It's just not in the right soil. Maybe it's in the shade and it needs to be in the sunlight. So sometimes people can, Scott Stecker said the other day, you can't take it. Sometimes you take a plant and that's grown to a certain point and you transplant it. If you go and you drop it in the middle of a road, it's not going to grow. It's going to die. It's not going to flourish. Right. If you're ever going to, and I say this all the time, I had a lender come to me that was talking, and now, of course, now who knows what the intention of that conversation was, but I know what my advice was. I know that how I received the intention of it was my thought at the time was that intention was very good and pure, which was, she tells me she's thinking of making a change mortgage company wise. And I said to her, she said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think that I think you've spent a lot of time building your name with this, associated with this brand of company you're with. And my advice would be, if you're making a change because it's better for you and your money, you're making it for the wrong reason. If you're making a change because where you're going will allow you to better serve your clients, which are real estate agents or clients that are buying houses or refinancing houses, then why would you then do it? Then I would say that the answer, even if you're not sure of what it's going to look like, if you in your heart believe that this change you're making is going to allow you to better serve the people that you're here to serve, then I say do it. And it doesn't matter if it's less money, because it's not about the money. It's not about the numbers. It's about, if you're truly in this for the right reasons, you're in it to help other people. And if you staying where you're at is holding you back from helping people in a way that you truly believe you can help people, or this other company will allow you to do things that you just can't do here, or maybe it's a different environment that will allow you and help you grow, then I think you need to do it. But it can't be just about the numbers, because if it's just about the numbers, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And she didn't change, and she stayed where she was at, because how many of you guys, I have an agent on here, and I'm not going to name any names, and if she's had the conversation with you guys, that's fine. I don't care, but I'm not going to name names. I have an agent on here who was offered 100% commission plus a marketing budget. 100% of her commission plus a marketing budget. But the caveat was she had to exclusively do his deals. She had to exclusively do his stuff. And I can't tell you how much that ties someone's hands. Anytime there's I'm going to give you all of this, and there's just one small catch.
Y'all,
I promise you that small catch is a whole lot bigger than it's being made out to be right now.
And just understand, it's typically always like that. It's typically always like that. When there's a 100% company, 100% offering, or a 90% offering, or 80% offering, there's typically a catch, because they can't give 100% or 90% and
pay the light bill
and keep their lights on. They just can't
do it.
It's impossible. So there's always a backside of that.
Yep.
So just understand. Hey, I know we got to go.
We do?
It's an hour. They've been on here an hour.
Oh, wow. Look there. We do got to go.
Quick question. If for those of you who are, let's see, there's 8 of you on here. So Exit Realty Lake Country agents, because I'm talking about this today, this morning when we get going. I want to ask you what do you say, or what do you feel, or what do you think is Exit Realty Lake Country's biggest value? If you were to bring it all together in one word or one phrase or something really, really short and sweet, what would our value be? And type it in here, because I want to be able to take this.
Type it in here, but I also want you to type it in a text message
and shoot it to me in a text too.
Copy me and Aaron both.
Yeah, do that. Put it on the Exit Realty Lake Country family. Okay.
No, put it to me and you. So I've got it.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, on our text, the iPhone thing.
No,
just text both of
send
us.
a message to Christy and Aaron.
One bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
Look, they're all family love. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can't tell you again the comments yesterday, and it's not just Ambassador.
Thanks, Brooke. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Melanie.
It
Vanessa,
is.
Thank you.
I mean, it feels like a family. In the Brasstown, we had people that came up to us yesterday that I didn't even know that said that video you guys put out was amazing.
And I'm going to share that today.
Are you going to share it on the screen? Is there a way for them to
No, I'm going to send a text message. I'm going to do the text Brasstown to 85377. I'm going to create the text before we go down there.
Oh, okay. So it is a
I like it.
Resounding theme that it's level ground for every agent. You're right, Lynn. We come in.
Thank y'all, by the way.
Yes. The fact that we've heard this theme, this whole thing, and it's not just from Ambassador, but these brokers are like, this is my family. Like these people, these agents, these are our family. There was brokers that got choked up because they were given an opportunity to do something bigger with an exit, and they took the opportunity. But the decision to leave what they had built was so difficult that they truly had to put in a strategy and a way that wasn't a 3 or 4 week. It was years.
Alibi.
It was years in the making to get a plan in place to do it right. And again, I heard it time and time again. It's all about having the right people. I would rather have an office full of the right people than to have 10 times the production numbers we're having right now with the wrong people. Because if you can't get choked up about hearing things and it reminding you of your own people and it reminding you of what we're building back home, then you're not doing it right. If you don't get emotional thinking about how amazing our company is and you guys, what you guys are doing to make our company what it is, because it's not just a matter of plug and play. It's a matter of plugging in, finding the right people, putting those people in the right positions and places, and then just letting them go, watering them and watching them grow. And I'm so excited, you guys. We love you guys so much. And again, he's probably going to tear up today. I'm pretty sure he's going to probably cry when he's up on the panel. So you guys, seriously, send some great energy our way today, and lift us up in prayer, because this is where we're supposed to be. And my prayer is that I am open to hearing exactly the words, exactly the way that we're supposed to hear them. The first team meeting I came to, when we all went to lunch, sat around, talked, laughed. Yeah, you knew you were home. When you walk in and you know, that's it. There's nothing else you have to do. I mean, you guys, and that's the part I love about real estate, is you're helping people and they think in their mind, it all has to be just right. We got to have this, we got to have this, we got to have this, we got to have this. And then the house that they walk into and go, this is it, might not have any of that stuff. It might not be. And you look at them and go, are you sure? Because this isn't what you said you wanted. Doesn't matter. It's a feeling. I feel it. I know this is right. So we love y'all. We're so thankful for y'all. We got to get down there. I'm already dressed because I honestly am wearing this because I froze yesterday. So they may look at me and go, who's the homeless chick in the back?
Or front.
Or front. So we love y'all. Be good.
Be great.
Be you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.